Hello, and thanks for joining us for this course on selling the UiPath Cloud Platform with confidence. I'm Jeff Anderson. I'm the Senior Product Marketing Manager for the Cloud Platform.
And I'm Tarek Madkour, and I'm the Director of Product for the Cloud Platform.
By the end of this course, you should be able to use the customer-facing deck to position the UiPath Cloud and Platform capabilities, answer the most common questions that you will get during the presentation of those slides, explain our pricing strategy, transition and timelines, and know where and how to get additional help.
One of the most important slides in the deck is about the deployment options that we provide. Our goal at UiPath is to provide our customers with a flexible set of deployment options that suit their needs. It starts with what we have always provided, which is on-premises deployment. All our platform capabilities come with the ability to be installed on premises. You can install Orchestrator on premises. Obviously, the robots are on premises. And when you're designing using Studio, that's an on-premises application. Then we also allow the customers that are interested in taking that to the cloud some options where they manage those cloud deployments. So the first option would be to put that as a private cloud. If they have their own private cloud just for their company, they can install those same components on their private cloud. We also allow them to install them on a public cloud of their choice, but they manage those installations. So for example, a customer can go and use our connections on Microsoft Azure to be able to quickly create an orchestrator in Azure or to be able to quickly put robots in Azure. Similarly for AWS and Google or any other public cloud of their choice. And the last option that we want to provide now is adding that flexibility of actually putting it in a cloud that UiPath would manage. So the UiPath Cloud option is one where UiPath installs these components for you, manages the infrastructure for all these components, and all you need to do as a customer is just use them. So that's the last deployment option that we want to provide that full spectrum of you manage it 100% on your machines to we manage everything for you on our machines.
The next slide in the deck sets up the following 4 slides on the key value pillars of the UiPath Cloud. It's a nice summary that lets you land the key point that our cloud platform is designed to help our customers focus their RPA effort and spending on automation, not infrastructure, in 4 important ways. Firstly, with the cloud, you start instantly. So your first RPA effort isn't installing Orchestrator, it's designing and delivering your first automation package. Secondly, as RPA takes off and you need more capacity, it's just there. You don't pay for excess server capacity up front, and you don't have to wait to scale easily when you need to. Thirdly, you can simplify your IT. Whether you are small and have no IT, but still want RPA, or you're an enterprise looking to reduce total cost of ownership, or even more commonly, you really need to get your RPA solutions built and delivered as quickly as possible. And finally, UiPath runs the cloud platform at such scale that we can offer the best security, privacy, and uptime more cost effectively than most of our customers can do it for their own RPA infrastructure. So in terms of core value, you can begin your proof of concept in seconds, move to production in days. You can very easily deploy, update, and manage automations in the browser. It's the same UI effectively as Orchestrator on-prem, so it's already what you know, but there's none of the requirement for your own hardware and installation behind it. And so simple sign-up, reduced setup time, and automatic license management are 3 of the benefits that customers most commonly look for.
When it comes to scale as the other value of moving to the cloud, I think of that as a number of different aspects of scaling. The first is being able to add new tenants. So let's say, for example, you started with having some operations for your finance team automated. Being able to create another tenancy for your HR team or for other processes that you want to automate, that's an aspect of scaling that we make very easy for you in the cloud. You can just go in the UiPath Cloud Platform, create a new tenant. Creating a new tenant takes almost no time at all, and then you can specify exactly which users you want to grant access to those tenants. And the most importantly is you can easily go and assign licenses to those and then move licenses freely between the different tenants. So being able to scale to having more than one tenant becomes really easy in the cloud. The second aspect of scaling is a bit more complicated, which is the one about having more robots. So now you're a customer that has 5 robots and you want to go to 50 or even 500 robots. You need to scale up the servers that you have to be able to handle that kind of load, right? And those robots, more connections, they're going to need more logs, they're going to need bigger disk space. You basically need to think about what infrastructure do I have and does it support that increase in scale or does it not support that increase in scale? With the cloud, you don't need to think about that at all. You just add more tenants, you add more robots to those tenants, you keep connecting more robots, we will scale behind the scenes for you and you don't even have to think about that at all. Now, the third angle of scaling that I think is important is scaling across different regions. We make that very easy with the cloud, where you can put some of your tenants in one region, and in the future, you'd be able to put other tenants in other regions. Soon enough, we'll make that very easy and very simple for customers, where we can be located across the globe without them having to think about different servers across the globe. So I think one of the most interesting reasons why people move to the cloud is that they want to not have their IT team worry about the infrastructure. And this actually comes in 2 flavors. It comes in the small and medium business flavor where they say, you know, I just don't have the IT resources to go and set up machines for a large server like Orchestrator and manage it and maintain it and make sure that I update it and do all of that. I mean, that's a lot of work, especially when I also have to do all the work to manage all the robots and all the robot machines. And then the other flavor that comes in is I'm a large enterprise. I do have a big IT team. But my big IT team also comes with big backlog of things that the big IT team needs to do. So when I go and talk to my IT team about adopting RPA and wanting to install those servers and update them, it typically becomes, well, we can put you in our queue. So now in 6 to 8 months, you can have that installation. And then when you have the installation and you have a new release like 19.10, for example, the IT team needs to manage the rollout of that release. So one of the really cool values that we provide on the cloud is you don't need to worry about any of that. For Orchestrator, which is what we're starting with in the cloud, what you're going to get is an installation of Orchestrator that is 100% installed and maintained by UiPath. We just give you the web address and you go to it and it's there. And we will maintain its compatibility with all the robots that you've connected it to. And on top of that, we're going to update it to the latest version every time that is released. And as an added bonus, we don't actually just update it every 6 months for you with like our big releases. We're actually updating it every 2 weeks with new value. So as a cloud customer, you are getting value every day.
Security and compliance are big questions for all customers, and rightly so. Think of this slide as starting the conversation, probably not concluding it, but know that there are many resources to help you with the questions that will come back from customers. We've designed the UiPath Cloud to be a trusted, compliant, and secure environment for automation. It's important to note that although we are just now releasing the Enterprise Cloud Platform with support and SLA, we have tens of thousands of active customers on our community platform, and that's been live for over 6 months. And it's already offering core requirements like customer and data separation, encryption, and operating at massive scale with high reliability. The Enterprise platform is building on all of that live experience. And because we're built on Microsoft Azure, we are of course also leveraging all of their capabilities and design principles around trust, compliance, and security. We can also note that most of our cloud engineering and product teams have previously worked on at least one of the world's biggest cloud platforms. We have hired the best to bring customers the best RPA cloud. One of the key differences between the Enterprise Cloud and the Community Cloud is that we guarantee business critical outcomes. So we guarantee 99.5% uptime. We have 24/7 support teams with an SLA on the response time there too. Most or all of these things are possible for customers to do themselves at a cost. But UiPath frequently has the scale and the expertise to do them more cost effectively and quickly in our cloud platform. High availability is one great example. I love the high availability add-on. It's one of the products I market, but even its most ardent supporters will admit it requires multiple additional servers, Linux skills, and geo-redundancy just gets more complex from there. Our cloud has high availability and disaster recovery built in for no extra cost from the first minute you use it. Finally, we are working on a number of certifications. We aim for Veracode in December, ISO and SOC 2 by GA in Q2, Until we have those, we offer extensive information about our security design and practices to prospective customers through the security white paper and the internal security FAQ, which are referenced at the end of this course. Ultimately though, always remember, if lack of a specific certification or something else is a complete blocker for a customer, they can absolutely move ahead with Orchestrator either on-prem, in the private cloud, or in the public cloud until we have the certification they require. So let's talk about pricing. For the cloud platform, we're taking a slightly different approach to what we do on-prem because we want to respect the software as a service model that lets you pay as you go. So there is no upfront charge or SKU for the cloud orchestrator. Instead, you buy special new cloud orchestrated SKUs for the robots and studios you want to orchestrate from the cloud platform. These SKUs are typically 25 to 30% more expensive than their on-premises equivalents, and perhaps obviously, those are the only robots and studios that you can orchestrate from the UiPath cloud. From a customer point of view, this maps their payments really closely to when they get value, which is great. As they run more automations, they get more value, and they need more robots, which is when they pay us. The key thing to know here is that unlike on-prem, there is no SKU for the orchestrator in the cloud. You pay as you go by buying those cloud orchestrated studios and robots that you can find on the price list. That's it. And just to avoid any confusion, the SKU model applies only to any robots or studios you want to orchestrate from the UiPath cloud platform, whether they're installed on local machines or in a third-party cloud. All other scenarios stay the same as they were. If you want to install Orchestrator on-prem or in a third-party cloud, you buy the Orchestrator SKU, and any robots you manage from that Orchestrator still only requires the standard SKUs, no matter where they're installed. The roadmap for the UiPath cloud platform is a bit different to an on-premises preview GA model because the cloud service itself is always being updated, and the only question is really how fast to add customers. The first capability we deliver in our cloud platform is Orchestrator, and we opened up our unsupported free public preview for that in June of 2019. Now, in December 2019, we've hit a milestone and we're at first availability. Don't think of this as beta. Think of this as us scaling up paying fully supported customers in production with service level agreements, which is what it is. In fact, the only real difference between this phase and launch, or general availability, is that we are adding a smaller number of customers initially so we can ensure a great experience and close engineering monitoring for those customers, and then onwards and upwards, everyone gets a great experience through to launch. Then at launch, we will have 6 additional months of service updates, local Azure instances in Japan, and there will be no sign-up limiting of any kind. And with that, I think it remains only to say thank you, Tarek, and thank you to everyone for joining the course. We're incredibly excited about the UiPath Cloud. We're excited to have reached first availability, meaning you can actually sell it right now, and certainly you can start talking about it as something that's out there, something that's live, something that customers are joining, a significant part of the UiPath story going forward. So thank you. And happy selling.
Thank you, Jeff.